Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribes my channel. Luna obsesses over Finn and will after learning nothing. And Brooke issues an ultimatum to Ridge. Ridge is told by Taylor at the Forrester mansion how fortunate they are to have such a wonderful family. Yeah, we are, he moans, looking guilty. Taylor bemoans Ridge's near loss of Brooke, but she wants him to understand that it doesn't alter their relationship or their vows to one another. When Taylor says she won't remove the ring, Ridge replies that he is go to the office. Taylor bids him farewell with affection. Ridge Taylor B&B. Forrester Creations. What's going on? Nick showed Brooke an engagement diamond he intended to give her in Italy. Brooke tells Katie at Forrester he is keeping it till he returns from his trip, but she is not wearing it. Katie reminds her that Ridge is the man she truly desires. B&B Katie Brooke. Electra concerns in the design office that many girls will stop at nothing to keep him around. She doesn't have to worry about other girls will size. They discuss how Remy's pictures traumatized her. Will promises not to harm her. I cherish you. Electra will be the B&B crew. Although she has never gone all the way before, Electra gives with the impression that she might be ready soon. He tells her it will be fantastic. Electra admits that she became wary due to both Remy and her parents' divorce. They make out, and Will swears he's a one-woman man. Has Luna acquired knowledge? Things have advanced to the point that Luna is ambulating at Lee's house, as she informs her grandparents that she intends to take full use of her second opportunity. She also has that sparkle back in her eye. By applying makeup and boasting about how much her grandparents love and believe in her, Luna makes them happy. She maintains that the hatred and fury have subsided and that she just wants one thing. Luna B&B. It should come as no surprise when Luna says she wants to see Finn. That can't happen right now, Lee argues. Finn's not the only one you want to see, is he? Sheila asks. Luna smiles. Before Luna speaks to anyone, Lee cautions that there are matters to discuss. See also, when will Matthew Atkinson be back next? Sheila's feelings for Will Spencer make Luna and Sheila laugh. Lee is unaware of this and tells her niece/granddaughter that males, especially Spencer's, are the last thing she should be thinking about at the moment. Naturally, Luna remembers kissing Will. That kiss could have brought me back to life, she says with a smile. Luna B&B. Will Katie intercede? Taylor is pleased that Brooke is okay after Katie comes up at the Forrester estate, presumably to brag about Ridge saving her. Katie points out that Ridge hurried in without considering his personal safety. Taylor chirps. My fiancé is that person they argue on who woman Ridge can rely on. According to Taylor, Ridge was codependent. Tay maintains that returning to Brooke will only cause Ridge more heartache. But Katie has the audacity to disagree with the world-renowned psychiatrist M. That won't take place. B&B Katie Taylor. Brooke's demand. Brooke squints as she reenacts the Ridge rescue kiss at Forrester. As expected, he shows up right then. Without wasting any time in small conversation, she asks Taylor what occurred at Eric's. Ridge is compelled to acknowledge that he kept the kiss a secret. He is alerted by Brooke that Nick is wearing an engagement ring. The dressmaker is reminded by her that he does not want to lose her. When is he going to put things right? Brooke bed and breakfast. More, a B&B singer hinting at a reunion with Thope. Ridge stutters that he believed the boat disaster had cost him her forever. Brooke claims to be there, but she makes it quite apparent that she won't be hanging around when a man is ready to pop the question. The dressmaker steps forward and silences her with an embrace after warning Ridge that if he can't break up with Taylor and return to her, then he should. According to spoilers and updates for the upcoming 3 weeks of The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna Nozoa woke up while Bill Spencer was planning his retaliation against Grace Buckingham. Let's see what B&B has in store, as Sheila Sharp and Lee Finnegan seem prepared to join forces. Week of August 11th. The grandmother's pact and Sheila's inquiries. Sheila will bring up Luna's staged death and the motivations for Lee's ceaseless attempts to save her over the week of August 11th to 15th. Lee is committed to assisting Luna in making positive changes, and it is likely that she and Sheila will work together to achieve this goal. As she thinks about her family and is aware of the difficulties Luna had with Papi Nozoa as her mother, Lee expressed her worries about not being able to leave Luna. Sheila and Lee vowed to keep quiet until Luna awoke from her coma. Luna will undoubtedly be taken aback when she learns how far her grandma will go to ensure her welfare. Nick's suggestion and Bill's retaliation. When Liam Spencer and Hope Logan revealed Grace's $1 million swindle, Bill was incensed. He will pursue retribution and make sure Grace is held accountable for her deeds. Bill might enforce the law himself if Grace is not sufficiently punished by the court system. Let's talk about Nick Marone's marriage proposal in the interim. He plans to propose to Brooke Logan by showing her a ring. Even though Ridge Forrester isn't entirely committed to rekindling his relationship with Brooke just yet, Brooke is likely to decline since she thinks she still has a shot with him. Bridge, or Tridge, one huge, intricate mess. Waffling Ridge is once again in a difficult situation where he must choose between Brooke and Taylor Hayes, with whom he is genuinely committed. Ridge's indecisive behavior was triggered by his jealousy of Nick's pursuit of Brooke. Given that Ridge still feels obligated to Taylor and his promises, the issue will be complicated. Taylor plans to keep her ring on and move on with the wedding plans with Ridge, but his feelings for Brooke will inevitably become stronger from this moment on. Even though there will be obstacles and disappointments to overcome along the way, fate will bring Brooke and Ridge back into each other's lives. August 18th week, a party is scheduled. Expect Deacon to welcome guests and present a stunning buffet for the reservation during the week of August 18th, when Aiel Giardino will host a private party. Electra Forrester will Spencer, Brooke, Katie Logan, and other characters will attend in the festivities. This could be done to commemorate a sales boost after the vacation to Naples and Capri, but it could also be done for another reason. Liam may not have cancer, but he lived with the fear of it and survived the horrific event at the beach home, so there are many reasons to be happy for his survival. In any case, while Deacon is busy with the party, Sheila might sneak off to visit Luna. The longer Sheila disappears from Deacon, the more he will begin to suspect anything. Week of August 25th. Brooke's anger, Daphne's drama. The week of August 25th to 29th may bring Hope Logan a lot of drama with Daphne Rose. With more time in Los Angeles, Daphne will be able to woo Carter Walton and cause problems for Hope's engagement. Brooke will be irritated with Ridge's handling of the Taylor matter in the meanwhile. Although Brooke will secretly believe that Ridge is the appropriate man for her, persuading him to leave Taylor won't be simple. The bold and the beautiful spoilers indicate that the next 3 weeks will be filled with excitement, so keep an eye out for updates on any surprising news ahead. The Forrester Mansion. The atmosphere is deceptively serene, sunlight spilling through the gauzy curtains, golden and soft, dancing across the gleaming hardwood floors polished to a mirror shine. The air perfumed faintly with the fresh lilies Taylor had insisted on placing in a cut crystal vase atop the antique credenza in the corner. And yet beneath the stillness there is a taut, unspoken tension, the kind that hums beneath the skin like static before a summer storm, as Taylor, poised in her pale lavender wrap dress, her hair meticulously curled and framing her face with an almost angelic softness, sits opposite Ridge, who is slouched in the leather armchair in a way that would suggest relaxation to an outsider, but to anyone who knows him, and Taylor most certainly does, is instead the kind of posture that betrays a man weighed down by thoughts he's trying very hard to keep locked away. She looks at him with the tender patience of a woman who has convinced herself, against all odds and all evidence, that love can overcome history, that commitment can erase decades of betrayals, that wearing a ring on her finger is not merely a symbol, but an unshakable truth, and with a tone both earnest and faintly pleading, she tells him how blessed they are, how rare and precious it is to have such a loving family, her words drifting into the air like dandelion seeds, fragile but determined, and Ridge, his jaw tightening ever so slightly, manages a gruff, "Yeah, we are," though the guilt that flashes across his eyes in that instant is so quick one might think they imagined it. Yet it is there, raw and unhidden for the briefest heartbeat before his face settles back into that careful neutrality he's perfected over years of walking the impossible tightrope between two women. Taylor, undeterred, launches into a softly delivered monologue about the trauma they all endured when Ridge nearly lost Brooke, her voice dipping on the name. Not quite bitter, not quite resigned, but making it clear she wants him to understand that this scare, this brush with mortality, changes nothing about the commitment they've made to each other, that she refuses to let a moment of danger be twisted into a reason to resurrect the old triangle that has bled them all dry. Ridge, half listening yet fully aware of every implication, nods vaguely as she declares she won't be taking off the ring he placed on her finger, her chin lifting with stubborn pride, and he responds not with the reassurance she craves, but with a murmured statement about having to get to the office, the words carrying a finality that makes her eyes flicker with something between suspicion and hurt. Though she hides it quickly, standing to give him a passionate send-off, her hands lingering on his shoulders, her lips warm against his cheek in a way that is both possessive and desperate, as if she can imprint herself into his skin and remind him who he's promised himself to. He leaves with a smile that doesn't quite reach his eyes, the door closing behind him with a soft click, and the quiet that follows feels heavier than before, pressing against the ornate crown molding and settling in the corners of the room like dust. Meanwhile, at Forrester Creations, Brooke is in the design office with Katie, and the contrast between the sisters is striking. Brooke, in a silk blouse the color of champagne, her golden hair catching the afternoon light in a way that seems almost cinematic, leans against the edge of the desk as if she needs the grounding support, her blue eyes shadowed with the kind of turmoil that only comes from decades of loving the same man, losing him, reclaiming him, and losing him again. And Katie, in a crisp navy suit, stands with her arms loosely folded, not judging but not entirely free of skepticism either, as Brooke confides that Nick, dear, complicated Nick, had shown her an engagement ring he'd once planned to give her in Italy, that she'd seen it, touched it, felt the weight of it in her palm. Yet she's not wearing it because, as she explains with a wistful half-smile, he's holding on to it until after his trip, almost as though the gesture has been paused mid-air, a promise. Suspended in time, Katie, ever the pragmatist, tilts her head and reminds her sister that the man she really wants is Ridge, her voice gentle but firm, the way one might remind someone of a truth they already know but have been trying to sidestep. Brooke doesn't argue. She doesn't have to, because the way her gaze drops to the floor and her lips press together says it all. Ridge is the gravitational pull she's never been able to escape, no matter how far she drifts. And in a different area of the building, in the quiet, softly lit design office, Electra sits with Will, the youthful energy between them both hesitant and electric, as she worries out loud about all the other girls who might want him, her voice tinged with insecurity born from scars she doesn't show easily. Will, with that special kind of Spencer sincerity that is equal parts charm and steadfastness, tells her that she doesn't need to worry, that he's not interested in anyone else, and that her presence is enough to overshadow all other possibilities. They return to the ordeal with Remy's photos, the violation that still haunts her like an unwanted ghost, and Will swears he will never hurt her, the words carrying the kind of conviction that makes her believe them despite the cynicism life has tried to instill in her. Will assures her that when it happens, it will be amazing, not in the reckless, casual way of a teenage boast, but with the weight of a man who means to cherish the moment when it comes. Electra acknowledges that she has never gone all the way before, her voice soft, hesitant, but layered with the suggestion that she might be ready soon. Taking her hands in his, Will reiterates his vow to be a one-woman man, the sincerity in his eyes driving away the shadows in hers. They lean in and kiss, the world shrinking to just the two of them, the murmur of the city outside the windows fading to nothing. She opens up about how not only Remy, but also her parents' divorce made her cautious about love, wary of promises and reluctant to trust too quickly. The atmosphere is different at Lee's place across town. It's intimate, but charged with undercurrents. Luna, whose health has improved enough that she can now walk, moves with a deliberate grace, and anyone who knows her well enough can tell when she's planning something. She sits with her grandmothers, her face glowing with the satisfaction of surviving, and tells them how much she loves them, how grateful she is that they believe in her, and how the anger and resentment she once carried like armor has somehow melted away. However, she confesses with a slow smile, there's just one thing she still wants. Sheila is not surprised when Luna expresses her desire to visit Finn. The desire in her voice is obvious. However, Lee quickly cuts that off, saying it is impossible, with a hardness that sounds like a slammed door. Sheila then cunningly asks, Finn's not the only one you want to see, is he? And Luna's smile speaks for itself. Lee tells her that she should talk to people before talking to anyone else, and that she should concentrate on getting better. But Luna's thoughts are already wandering. She remembers kissing Will Spencer and how that fleeting moment together had made her feel more alive than anything else since her ordeal. She even thought to herself at the time, that kiss could have brought me back to life. She doesn't bother to conceal the hidden smile that the remembrance brings to her face. Sheila laughs with her about it, but Lee's response is more scathing and critical, telling Luna that guys, and Spencer's in particular, are the last thing she should be thinking about at the moment. Back at the Forrester mansion, Katie shows up without warning, supposedly to see how Taylor is doing and to brag about Ridge's bravery in saving Brooke. Taylor welcomes Katie with a friendly but slightly stiff tone, pointing out that Ridge hurried in to save Brooke without thinking twice for his own safety. Taylor, with that bright, unwavering smile, chirps, "That's my fiancé!" In a rare moment of bravery, Katie dares to disagree with the world-renowned psychiatrist, pointing out that Taylor's certainty might not be as unshakable as she thinks. Taylor insists that going back to Brooke will only bring Ridge more heartache, cutting the air with a crisp, "It's not going to happen." The two women spar, lightly on the surface, but with sharper barbs underneath, over which of them Ridge can truly rely on. Then, in one of those scenes that soap opera viewers adore, Brooke is standing by herself at Forrester, squinting a little as she relives the passionate kiss she shared with Ridge during the rescue, the one that had rekindled all of their dormant passions, and Ridge enters as though summoned by her thoughts. Without wasting any time on small talk, she presses him about what transpired at Eric's with Taylor, making him confess that he didn't tell her about the kiss. The disclosure makes their distance from one another even more acute, and Brooke takes advantage of the opportunity to inform him that Nick is wearing an engagement ring as a reminder that he doesn't want to lose her. Ridge, his mind racing, stammers about how he thought he had lost her forever during the boat accident. Brooke interrupts, reminding him that she is still alive and that she won't be waiting around forever, especially when there is a man willing to pop the question without hesitation. Her voice is low but urgent as she asks when he will make things right. She makes it quite clear. She will move on if he is unable to break up with Taylor and return to her. Instead of responding, Ridge moves closer and silences her with an embrace that spoke of all they've lost, everything they've shared, and everything that is still up in the air between them. The ultimatum looms heavy and unavoidable.